Hey guys, and happy Saturday. Today I am participating in my own challenge actually on my DIY channel. It is Melissa Makes It DIY, and today's challenge is So You Think You Can Craft Challenge, and we are using cereal boxes. My co-host Tiffany over at Broke Girl Aesthetic, thank you so much Tiffany for co-hosting with me. She chose cereal boxes, so I've been wanting to do this. I did a video on my other channel using cereal box or using boxes, not cereal boxes. So I wanted to come on here, use this cereal box to show you how to make some faux leather. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to open the box up. And obviously this is optional. You don't have to do it this way. And it's up to you. I always mess this part up, so do that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off all these edges. You can move this stuff out the way. I'm just gonna go through and cut off all these leaflets, or the little, not leaflets, what am I talking about, the little edges here, so we don't need those. Try to clean up as I go. And if you are new to my channel, like if you're coming over here from the playlist, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you coming on over. This channel here is pretty new, and I like doing journals here, and I like to keep everything simple, just like I do on my DIY channel. I like things to be really simple and, user-friendly, and things, that you can do using stuff that you have. So that is kind of my motto and my style everywhere I go. So, all right, so now that you've cut it, obviously you can cut it down to size, and I'm actually going to go ahead and cut this out. And it's not even, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be. I'm going to save this for later. So what I'm going to start off doing is, I have a spray bottle here, and it's filled with water and conditioner. I don't know the parts. I just kind of fill the water up to about here, and then put conditioner. And these are just one of the spray bottles from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using just regular conditioner. I usually use like a moisturizing conditioner just so that it can add that extra softness to the to whatever I'm using. But you can also use glycerin. This is just messier for me, so I'd rather just do this. And because I'm using this cardboard and I want this to be gone, we're gonna use conditioner. And I have this protective it's called Tri-Catch, and they have these rolls of protective like tape, and I love it. They sent this to me, sent it to me on my other channel. I tried it over there. I love it because I'm on my dining room table right now, so it protects it if you're using liquids or paints or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually do it over here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'm just going to spray it down because I want to keep this dry over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it nice and wet, and you just spray it down. Like I said, this is water and conditioner. Now you can also spray it down with water and then add the conditioner, like rub the glycerin or the conditioner on there. I find it easier this way. So I'm going to go ahead, spray it. Then I'm just going to let that sit there. And I'm going to work on my inside. So what I'm doing is I'm making a faux leather journal. And let's see. So I'm going to have to cut some of these down. I just have a bunch of paper that I had here. And I'm just going to grab, let's see. Now you can make this a junk journal and just use like whatever papers you have, book pages, newspaper, anything that you have. I'm going to use this white paper that I have here, and you can use, like I said, you can use anything. Let me see how many pages I have here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, perfect. 10. Perfect. Okay. So then I'm just kind of trying to measure it here. I need to cut it down a little bit because it's a little bit too wide. And I don't need it to be perfect. Now, this is just me. If you want it to be perfect, of course, then you can go through and kind of measure it all out. I'm just going to go at it, and I don't generally cut very straight. So I'm already thinking I'm going at an angle already. Look at that. That's horrible. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's just paper. And actually, oh, I don't have my ruler. No. Okay. It's okay. It's all right. I was holding the paper the wrong way. So it's okay, though. We shall survive. It's just paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other half of the box. And I am going to, should be the same length. I'm just going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do something with it. All right, so I'm going to just cut it. So let's see if my paper is this big. Then, so what you want to do is so I want to cover the inside. I was going to use paper, but I think I'm just going to do this for now. And I may still put some paper in there. I'm not sure. We'll see. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit bigger than the paper and a little bit smaller than my cover there. So you do this and just go, go, go. Again, it doesn't have to be completely perfect. Then, let's see, I want to, now see, I'm horrible because I don't measure things. And this is probably one of my biggest faults when it comes to doing journals and stuff. I do not measure, and it's pretty bad. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. Again, I'm eyeballing it here. All right, so then I have to cut my papers down too. I'm going to do it this way so that I can get out. Let's see. Let's see. Let me cut these down because I messed it up. Kind of even it out a little bit. I don't know how even that is because this is horrible, but it's okay. Bam. It's going to look great. I promise. Just wait. Go with me here. Go with me. Okay, so then I'm going to go about, I guess about there, huh? Yeah. Now, of course, you can use paper cutter. You can do it the right way. Okay. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. It's going to be perfect. So then I'm just going to fold it in half. And then you'll be able to kind of fix it up a little bit once you fold it. And of course, because when you fold it, it kind of pushes the middle pages out, then you can fix it. That's when you can kind of make it look pretty. There's my bone folder here. So once you fold it up, then you can, like I said, you can cut it down. That'll make it nice and pretty. That's why I wasn't too worried about it. Now, of course, you could do it perfect the first time, of course. But Melissa does things a little backwards sometimes. It's okay. Do I have my ruler? Okay, so I found my ruler. Now you can make this perfect like this and use your paper cutter and cut it, or you can tear it if you want that deckled edge, or is it called deckled edge? I think it's called deckled. And you just kind of keep going through till you're all the way through. Then you'll have a nice even edge there. that's why I wasn't worried about it too much before, because you're going to be able to come through and fix it. So then do the same thing here, and we are going to just try to make it as even as possible. Oh, why did I do that? I'm right-handed. I'm right-handed. So do that. And again, it's just to make it a little bit more even here. And you can use a paper cutter, you can use your scissors. You saw how my scissor work was, so I had to use something better. All right, there we go. Much better. And you still have a little bit of a, you know, and you can take some sandpaper if you want it to look a little bit more vintage. Get some sandpaper, you're good. So then we're going to fold this in half as well. And all this while we're waiting for that paper to kind of soak through. Let me check it out here. Give it a little bit more spritz there. Nice and wet. And then you can clean this up if you want to. Totally up to you. Clean it up just a little bit here. Just a little bit. Is that even? I don't know. It looks even. Looks good to me. There we go. Do the same thing down here. Now, of course, you know, sizes are going to vary, so that's why I didn't give you any like measurements or anything, because, you know, you can do as big as you want. You can take the whole cereal box, fold the whole cereal box in half, and then you have yourself a nice big journal or a piece of leather. Even if you don't want to make a journal and you just want a big piece of leather, then you can just take the whole box, you know, and do that. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to clean up. I'm trying to do better about cleaning up after myself, because I tend to craft like now I have this big pile of trash here, but then I can just pick it up. So, all right. So now that that part's done, we're going to leave that there. So once this is nice and wet, you should be able to peel it. It's not completely soaked through, so it may not work as well as it usually does, because it usually has to soak through pretty good. I'm not getting that corner here. So what you're going to do is you want to take the like printed part apart from the cardboard part. And like I said, see, usually it'll come out in pretty big pieces, so you just peel it off. Usually I can get it off, like if it's nice, if it's like the perfect saturation, I can pull the whole thing off in like one piece, which is pretty satisfying. But because I'm doing it on camera, of course, it's not going to work. It's going to do what it wants to do. And now I'm going to just peel all this off. Look how satisfying that is, just seeing it come apart. All right, so just keep going. It's being difficult. If you do it slower, you can usually get it off in one pretty big chunk. So just be patient with it. You don't have to rush it. I'm just rushing because I'm trying to get you guys off of here. But all right, so then you have another pile of junk there. Then what you're going to do is, again, take your spray. You're going to spray the other side. Okay, then make sure you get it nice and wet. So then you're going to let that sit over here and dry. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to do that on camera. So because of the magic of YouTube and all that good stuff, this is what it looks like once it's dry. Now, the only difference is I've already kind of crinkled this up. So once this is a little bit drier, and actually I could probably do it now. Yeah. So when it's once it's already starting to dry and it's not as soaked as it is, you're going to want to start crumbling it and balling it up, you know, making it wrinkled, just kind of it's even okay now. And see how pliable it is. You can move it around. You can do what you want to do with it. But just be gentle because you can tear it. I did tear this one a little bit, but it's okay. Gives it, you know, a better look. So then this is what it looks like. You're going to let that sit to the side and dry. And then this is what it looks like once it's dry. It's a little bit harder, but it's still pliable. So that's a good thing. Then I'm going to keep that there. Make sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Is that going to work? I think it'll work. All right. So we are going to cut this off. So this is like the extra flap that was on there. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off because we don't need it. All right. You can always save this and make yourself a little leather strip or something like that. All right. So this is the part that we tore this part off of. So that has kind of like some glue and stuff on it. So this is going to be our outside. So make sure you turn it this way, and that's where you're going to put your inside to it. And you're going to glue that on there. Now you can get some sandpaper and sand this down if you want to, just to make sure that your glue holds. But I'm going to use Fabrifix, and it tends to hold pretty well either way. So I'm not too worried about it. So I'm going to go ahead, got my Fabrifix. I'm just going to throw it on there. And like I said, you can sand this down if you want to, just to give it a little bit more grit, or what do you call it, like tooth, so that it sticks better. But that's totally up to you. This will work just fine, in my opinion. Just put a bunch of it on there and get it all over. Hair in there. Get the edges real good. You're going to want to make sure that you have enough on the edges, so kind of take it, and I always have hair everywhere. Take it and make sure you have your edges covered there so that it sticks all the way. Bang, bang. Okay. Then you're just going to make sure you put this on. Again, this is the part that you took the color part off of, the printed part, and that has the glue, so you want to cover that. And then you can always, obviously, just use, you know, some paper, scrapbook paper, any kind of paper that you want. This is an amazing tool. It's a face roller from the Dollar Tree, but it works great. So then you're going to roll it on there to make sure it gets nice and stuck. And I probably, let's see if this is gonna work. I probably should have sanded it down, and I may have to still do that just to make sure that it sticks, but it should be okay. We'll see. Get that corner, get the corner here. And you can use any kind of glue that you want. You can use Scotch Create. That works really well too. Sorry, I have a child asking me if he can play in the kitchen. Not right now, when I'm done. Give me about 10 minutes. Alright, so again, we're just going to make sure the corners are all glued. And this, I'm telling you, if you don't have one, it's just like not a dauber, a dauber. It works perfect for small, especially for smaller projects like this. It's great because, you know, you don't want that big one. So then you're just going to fold it, get that crease in there. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so then at this point, if you're going to put paper, you could put paper. I think I'm just going to leave it like this, and then I'm going to like decorate it. So we're going to do that. And then what you need to do, where is my, okay. So then you're going to need either some kind of ink. I'm going to use Distress ink. You want some kind of browns, unless you're going to make it, you know, black. You could use shoe polish. It takes a little bit longer to dry, but I will show you. Oh, that was a little bit too much. I'll show you on, oh, you know what? I'll show you on this little piece that we had over that you can take it and do the same thing. Now this one, the color is kind of funky. You want to get the right color, but you can use this as well. Just kind of go over it and it'll do the same thing. It's just going to take a lot longer to dry. So this one's kind of red for some reason, even though it says brown. So this is the one from the Dollar Tree. So my review is it's kind of red. So if you, I don't know, I wouldn't use it on my brown on my brown shoes. All right, guys. So I'm inserting this in here now because this was a discovery after I was done with my DIY. If you remember, I took this shoe polish and I was just kind of showing you that you can use, you know, different stuff to ink it. And I only did a little spot. I didn't like the color, so I stopped. But then once I was cleaning up and I found this and it was dry, it looked so good. It looked just like leather. It has that good feel to it. So I did the whole thing. I tried the whole, you know, the whole little piece of the cereal box here. I loved the way that it looked so much that I made another quick journal with another cereal box. This is just another cereal box. And all I did was I used the shoe polish instead of inking it. So the first time I did it, I used, you know, the distress ink and I just kind of went over it like this. And this is what that looks like. And it still looks good. I love the way this looks. I love the way it feels. Use the same technique except for the inking part of it. Now I love this. I still love this. I'll still do this. This is just a different look. And this looks so much like leather. It is crazy. So I just went ahead and I just took the shoe polish and I went over the whole thing and I let it dry, and this is how it turned out. And then I just put some paper on the inside and, you know, same thing as I did with this one. I just did it a little bit differently, and I love the way this one turned out. I love this one as well. And again, I haven't finished this one as far as like the paper that I'm going to use on the inside or anything, because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this one yet. But I figured this was so easy, and this added just enough, you know, for it to be flexible, but it's still, you know, sturdy enough. This one's just a little bit harder because of the cardboard, you know, that I used. I used a cereal box behind here as well. But guys, this method right here, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It was an accidental discovery, and I absolutely love it. So this is another technique that you can use to make the faux leather, and I love it. Like I said, this is probably now going to be my favorite method, and now I have to find different color shoe polishes so that I can do this, because this looks so stinking good. So I just wanted to insert this in here. I didn't record myself making this one because I didn't know that I was going to do it. And so, but like I said, use the same technique as I used making this one. But instead of using the ink on this one, I just use a shoe polish. And then, of course, you know, you can decorate it however you want to. I kind of scraped my pages a little bit there just to kind of give them that aged, weathered look. But I'm going to use my walnut and my vintage ink. And then you're just going to go over it. And you want to get all those raised pieces, get on your edges there. Make sure you get all over. This is what's going to give it that, you know, weathered leather look. And you can use, this one's kind of dark. Probably should have used my vintage photo, but it's okay. We're still going to use it. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Get your edges. You know how the edges are always worn on leather. And that's kind of cool. It has like a tear there. You just have to be careful. You might want to put like something on the other side just to make sure, oops, that it doesn't tear more, like some glue or some tape or some kind of, you know, something to hold it there. You're just going to go ahead and do that. If you want it to be a little bit lighter, then you use your vintage photo. But again, you can use whatever color. You can do both. And it kind of gives it that extra, you know, leathery look. And then If you want, you can complete this by covering it in Mod Podge. I don't like covering it in Mod Podge. It kind of makes it too hard for me. It gives it like a very stiff feel. So I don't like doing that. But as you can see, getting that leather look there. And then, of course, you're going to, if you want, you can do whatever you want with this. If you want to cut it down, make it, you know, do whatever. But it's up to you. That's just a personal preference. I'm going to leave it like that. I kind of like it, and I'm going to decorate it anyway. So, you know, so this is what it looks like, and you can add as much or as little, darken it up, smooth it out, kind of put it on there, make it look nice and worn, however you want. Make sure you get those edges like that. Then I always take my finger and kind of go over it just to, I don't know, like spread it out just a little bit more, and it kind of puts it in those spots that the ink the dauber couldn't get it on, or the, yeah, there you go. See, you just kind of smooth it out. Now your fingers are dirty, but it's okay. So then, now you can take your signature. You can sew it in if you want to. I am not going to sew it in today. I'm actually going to staple it in today. And I'm going to use my, what is this called? Like a long neck stapler. I don't know what it's called. I'll link it down below. I got it off Amazon. It was only like $12 or something like that. And, oops, and it works great. I don't have the right staples for it, but it's okay. This isn't too thick, so it's not, you know, a big deal. So you just make sure your pages are where you want them. Kind of do that, and then we want to do it this way because we want the, oops, the like little teeth or whatever on the inside. So I'm going to do 3, but of course you can do whatever you want. And oops, my staples aren't going in good. It's because I've got the wrong staples. It's not the staple gun. It's okay. So I guess we're sewing because my stapler, I don't have the right staples. So give me a second. All right, so I've got my needle, I got my thread, and I got my awl and some clips. Change of plans. So sometimes things work out the way that you want them to, and well, sometimes they don't. So you just kind of go with the flow. And I am definitely a go with the flow, you know, it'll be all right type of person. So I'm going to go ahead and just clip one here and one here just to hold things in place while we're putting the cover together. Get my thing here. So I have my awl. I don't measure. I'm just going to go about 1 inch in from the end, go all the way through. Another one here on this side, and then in the middle ish, kind of, sort of. Then I'll just go through again and make sure it goes all the way through. And there we go. And this, just some cotton thread. I already had to thread it beforehand because it takes me forever. So, and you just do, I usually do like 3 or 4. I know most people say 3. I always add an extra, like the length of the book, because, you know, sometimes I mess up. So I just add a little extra. Doesn't, you know, if you know what you're doing, hey, more power to you. So, all right. So then I'm going to take my thread. We're going to go in through the middle, all the way through. Come on. Just got to make sure you don't tear your book up there. Then you're going to go through the top. Make sure it's even there. I'm using a really thick needle for some reason. I don't know why I grabbed this one. It was the first one that I saw. Up through the middle. Up through the top. Pull it through. Then you're going to go all the way down to the bottom. And then you're going to go through the middle. Make sure you don't split the thread. Can you even see me? I'm sorry, I'm all the way over here. Through the middle, try not to split that thread there. There we go. Make sure you're on the other side of the other tail there. Pull it through. Come on. There we go. Then you can tighten it up. Can you guys see me? There we go. All right. Then we're going to go and just tie a couple knots. Then do it the opposite way. Sometimes I don't do that because I forget, but you can go the opposite way. And then I always do a third just in case. And then there you go. You have your little, now you can do this the opposite way and then you'll have the one, you know, on the outside, but then you'll have that knot out there too. So it's up to you. Then I always just leave this, I cut it even and just leave it hanging there in case you want to add a dangle or anything like that. But you can cut it, obviously you can cut it down however you want. And then, well, there you go. And I'm going to add, where is it at? Where is my little thingy at that I was going to add? Oh, did I bring it over here? I was going to add a little tag to it. But I guess I didn't bring it up here. Oh, here it is. Okay, I did. All right, so I have this little, I don't know what they're called, like a little label, I guess. I have all these little brads, so I'm just going to grab some brads here. I'm going to take this, do these. Let's see, this one, do I want silver or do I want this like gold? I don't know. Let's see. I kind of like the silver. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go with silver. Let's go with silver. I like a more matted, muted. Oh, I do. Haha. There we go. That's what I want right there. More muted silver. This is kind of bright. All right, so then you're just going to figure out kind of where you want it. I want it kind of in the quote-unquote middle here. So I'm going to do this. Make it my all. I'm going to make a little hole here. And it's not even, you know, let's be real. I'm talking about me here. It's not even, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of poke it through there. Poke it through there. I'm going to put it on there, and then I can just add a little something, you know, put a little sticker or something underneath there. But we're just going to put this on there for now, and then I can cover it in the back, you know, cover it up with something. Or I can leave it just like that. Doesn't matter. Boop, boop. Now, of course, you know, this is optional. I don't remember where I got these little chipboard label thingies from. I think I got them at a thrift store, and it came like in a big pack of a bunch of them. So, but I mean, you can find them at Hobby Lobby or Joann or Michael's or wherever, or you can just print one out. So I thought that would just be kind of cute to kind of finish it off there. Then you have yourself a cute little leather-bound journal. It's a little traveler's notebook. Now you can, like I said, you can cut this so that it's even, or you don't even have to add that if you don't want to. You can kind of make sure you stamp the other side, and then you'll have both sides leather. I like the thicker, you know, I wanted it to be just a little bit more sturdy. So that's why I added the cereal box on the inside. That's it, guys. You have yourself a cute little notebook to decorate, and I will be decorating this and adding stuff in here on this channel. So if you like stuff like this, be sure to come back and check me out. Again, if you wanted to make like a cute little leather sign, you could just use a big, you know, have like this big piece of one that I have, and this is a cereal box as well. You can always get your Cricut, print something out on there, then you can frame it and make yourself like a leather, like a faux leather sign. There's so many things that you can use this for. And this would be a good, like, big leather journal if you wanted to. It already has the creases in there. So, I mean, it's totally up to you. There's so many different things that you can use it for. But I really like this one. And again, if you want it to be a little bit more leather looking, you can take your Mod Podge and kind of go over it with the Mod Podge. And it'll have like that shinier look to it. But that's optional. I like it just like this. I think it looks great. That is it, guys. Be sure to check out the playlist. Thank you so much for stopping by. Tiffany, thank you so much for co-hosting. I appreciate everyone who participated. Be sure to check out my DIY channel. Check out the playlist. Check out Tiffany's channel. And until next time, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles. Bye, guys. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below and let me know if you came over here from the playlist or if you were already a subscriber. All right, until next time, bye.